Hello, everyone. Welcome to our highly anticipated webinar, the Safetica pre-launch product training. My name is Anna Milan, Product Marketing Manager for Safetica. So before we dive into the content, let's quickly go over a couple of house rules. So first, as always, we highly encourage active participation. So feel free to ask questions using the questions pane or icon. We will, of course, address as many questions as possible during the Q&A segment at the end of the presentation. And secondly, this webinar is being recorded and the recording will be made available to all registered participants afterwards. And so we have a jam-packed session ahead of us. And so to start things off, allow me to introduce Safetica's Chief Executive Officer, Mira Kren, for the opening remarks.
Hi, hello everybody. Good morning, I guess, to most places, or good evening, night, in case you happen to be at that time zone. As Anna pointed out, my name is Mirek Kren. I'm a CEO of Safetica. And first and foremost, I want to welcome you all to this webinar where we're going to be talking about our new Safetica product. We are very excited about this launch and all the opportunities gonna come with it, and for you guys, for your customers. This product marks a revolutionary point in our company, since it is the first full-featured product available also in the cloud. And the transition enables us to do a lot more things with the product, including some of the AI functionality that we do plan on bringing later this year and next year. The product, not only the product, but we try to simplify everything around this product, whether that's licensing, the implementation, product itself, interface, dashboards. And I think this simplification is going to make your lives a lot easier when you present and implement the product for your customers. We've been making significant investments into our channel. We're making improvements to our partner program, and we hope that together we can grow faster than the last years. Again, the new product brings a lot of new functionality, a lot of simplification again, and there is more to come. I hope you will enjoy not only today's webinar, but also supporting and selling Safetica product that we are releasing a week from now, and any other products beyond that. Thank you very much. Thanks for being partners of Safetica. We appreciate your loyalty and dedication and drive and supporting our product. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mirek, for that opening remarks. And so before we dive into the product demo, I want to give you a quick recap of the positioning that we shared earlier this year. So in January, we announced the unification of our product portfolio because, one, we want to simplify the buyer's decision-making process, as what Mirek mentioned, and at the same time, strengthen our product offering. And so you see here, we have three numbers, 1, 2, and 3, each representing an essential aspect of the new Safetica. So let's start with number 1. We have one product. I wish I could hear your answers right now. We have one product, and beginning April 11, we will unify to just the single product, which will be referred to simply as Safetica. So not Safetica Next, not Safetica One, so it will not have any additional branding. It will just be simply Safetica. And to reaffirm our positioning that we've previously communicated at the start of this year, again, I'd like to give you a quick recap of this product positioning. So this Safetica, or this single product, is an integrated data loss prevention and insider risk management solution, which helps companies discover, classify, and protect sensitive data. So this is the DLP part, as well as detect, analyze, and mitigate risks posed by insiders within an organization. So you might ask, what does converging DLP and insider risk management mean? It means that Safetica does not only focus on the what, so on the data, but also on the who, the employees, the users, and how. How are they using the data? It does not only look at the data, as I've mentioned, and how it moves across platforms, but it also monitors how employees use the data as well as how they spend their working hours. So which websites they visit and the applications they use. Thirdly, with Safetica, we do not only create rules and policies, but more importantly, and I will delve into that more later, we want to ensure that these policies educate our employees and foster data security or awareness. We want this to be rooted in a culture of data security awareness. And last, but of course, definitely not the least, we do not only react to incidents as they happen, but we are taking a proactive approach to mitigating risk. So basically, we're merging the good from DLP, the good from insider risk management, and putting them into this single product. So we have one product, and next is number two. We have two deployment options. Simply put, we have Safetica can be deployed either in the cloud as a software as a service or powered by Microsoft Azure or on premises. So Safetica now offers deployment flexibility with one single product which can be deployed in the cloud or on premises. So one product, two deployment options, and three product plans. Previously, we referred to them as product tiers, but we're now calling them again for consistency and branding sake. We are calling them product plans, and these are Essentials, Pro, and Premium. We start with the first product plan, which is Essentials. And if there's one word to describe Essentials, it is its emphasis on visibility. With this first product plan, customers can gain the ability to first discover data at rest, track data in use and in motion, classify data based on content inspection and context awareness, and also gain insights into user activity, user behavior, and identify potential risks. At the same time, this product plan enables detection of data security incidents. So again, in one word, it's really comprehensive visibility. Pro is our full-featured product. It does not only deliver visibility into data and user activities that Essentials provide, but it also allows flexible protection policies, application and website control, as well as it extends endpoint protection to the cloud with Microsoft 365 security. And third product plan is Premium. And while Premium is still in development, our plan is for its overarching goal to enhance product and account management, extend data retention capabilities, and introduce additional features to ensure regulatory compliance. So watch out as we further define and crystallize what Premium offers. And so you see, if you focus on the left side of the screen, we've structured these product plans around 5 core data security areas. And you might ask me, but Anna, we see these key core data security areas across, a few or a lot of the competitors. So it then begs the question, how then do we distinguish or differentiate Safetica against our competitors? And the team and I have identified 3 key differentiators that will help you or that will help customers choose Safetica over our competitors. And we start with data classification. With data classification, specifically Safetica Unified Classification, we combine content inspection with context awareness to accurately detect sensitive data. As you know, many types of sensitive data do not contain recognizable patterns or words or even context, any content at all. Excuse me. But with Safetica Unified Classification, You can detect and protect data based on content, based on origin, file type, and even third-party classifications. Secondly, in terms of our protection and prevention efforts, we are enriching DLP controls with behavior insights to accurately spot insider risk, and as I mentioned earlier, more critically focus on educating employees. And I'd like to emphasize the importance of this education aspect, which is really an approach grounded in a culture of security awareness. And why is that? Because in a recent discussion with a Forrester analyst, she highlighted two key aspects of a strong DLP solution. She was asking this question, what truly makes a good or a strong DLP? And she identified two. The first one being that there should be a decrease in alerts. And why? Because this signifies that employees are making informed decisions. It's signifying that our DLP controls are effectively guiding users, are effectively guiding employees to do the right thing. And that, these notifications or alerts are not just blocking, but in fact providing that good nudge for users to choose the right data destination and to follow data security policies. A second indicator that she said is of a good DLP or of a strong DLP is that it makes the job of the IT admin easier, which brings me to the third differentiator of Safetica. Our solution provides a centralized console and a single source of truth to easily enforce policies and investigate incidents. So we do not only think of the users or the employees, but we also think about the person who's responsible for the solution, the IT admin, the champion of the DLP solution. And we also ensure that we make his job or her job easy. But then again, don't take my word for it. To show us how these are reflected in our new product, I turn you over to our head of product management, Yan Lakatosh.
Hello, everyone. And thank you, Anna, for actually doing the honors of introducing the product in the general way. Let me just take over the screen share and we can continue. Before we dive into the product itself, I would like to kind of recap what is now available in the new unified product, because we showed you some glimpses of it at the beginning of the year. Some parts were finished, others were still being worked on, others we were promising to deliver by the end of Q1, which is actually happening right now. So just to recap everything and maybe give you a little insight of all the things that we wanted to have today, but we still do not have fully. Let's go through the 5 areas that the product should be covering. So the first area is data classification. You might probably know that this is the heart of our product. If we want to protect data in a company, we need to understand the nature of those data. And for that, the new unified product actually includes a lot of things. We believe the new generation of Safetica is even more powerful than Safetica 10 ever was. And definitely compared to Safetica Next, we've added many new things and made them configurable at the same time. So we have all kinds of data classification technologies to search through file content. We can also combine this with contextual classification, where you introduce the attribute of where the data originated or where they were stored. You can combine it with third-party classification, which we see is becoming a trend with our customers. And also file attributes such as file type can be combined to give you a very powerful way how to configure the data classification. What we are also working on is introducing templates to make this all much easier to use when you are starting off, so that you don't need to configure everything by yourself, but you have some templates to get you started, and then you can always go and customize the configuration even further. And again, as you may know, we already had data in use classification and data in motion classification at the beginning of the year. You might be testing it already within our early access program, But what we'll be adding very, very shortly, it's not yet ready today, but it's coming this month, is data address discovery. So you will be also able to find files that are stored on endpoints and not being used necessarily, but it will give you a possibility to really do an audit of all the endpoints and find sensitive information anywhere. So this is the first area of data classification. The second area is data loss prevention. So with this, we offer very granular rules, configurable options of how to actually mitigate issues. There are some things that we would like to have, but we still are working on, such as shadow copy, but we do know that this is a very required feature. We are working on making this available in the unified product, and we are actually taking our time because we want to make this available not only on Windows and on-premise, how it was in the past, but we want to make this a cloud and on-premise feature alike, and also make it available for our Mac users. And all the other things you might be familiar with, these are our DLP policies, and they stay as powerful as they always have been previously. The third topic is insider risk management, which does not necessarily relate to data only, but we try to incorporate more areas that we see in the company, and we try to make smart analysis over it so that we actually do robust security for the organization. And for these, we have application and website policies, now also available for cloud. We have categorization that allows you to create these policies in an efficient way and easy way. And one more thing that we are adding already to the product as a new feature is removable device policy, our former device control, so that you can easily set up policies to either allow or block flash drive use, Bluetooth use in a company, or other external ports that the users might or might not use. What we are also working on is adding level of user activity and risk to the product. So this is something in progress. We might have it by next week. We might be having it in a few weeks. So still in progress, but we are actually working on introducing the risk logic that we formerly had in Safetica Next into the unified product, so that we make it a little bit easier to spot the insider risk in the company and actually focus on mitigating it. And the new area that we are focusing on heavily is cloud security. For that, we are continually adding new features, even though we are releasing those silently and gradually. So where we are today is that we have integration with Exchange Online and SharePoint Online, which gives us visibility into email and cloud file operations. But also, we now already have blocking ways for email and unsharing ways for file operations. So this is a way of introducing actually active security for cloud. And with the new unsharing option, we are able to take files which were previously shared with certain recipients and unshare them if this was undesired, and inform the user that the file has been unshared because of a security policy that's in place. And again, these things do not only relate to SharePoint, because SharePoint is actually the underlying architecture, but this is our way of actually integrating with Microsoft Teams, OneDrive Business, and all the SharePoint sites that you might be using in the company. And this does not only cover the protected endpoints where Safetica is deployed, but this way you can actually bring your own devices in a company, or mobile devices when users are working with email or files on their tablets or mobile devices. And one more thing mentioned here is Azure Active Directory integration. So again, since we are integrating with Microsoft, we can already see the structure of the company and we pull the users. What we also want to do is allow you to integrate with Azure Active Directory groups and use those groups within Safetica so that your management is much more simplified. And this way you can just easily pull your existing AAD groups into Safetica and set up policies to protect users that are parts of these groups. So this again is something we are working on and should be coming soon. And finally, for reporting and administration, the product is already quite powerful. There are some things that are slightly more powerful for the on-premises version. because we have the luxury of having the desktop application that serves some of those use cases. But again, the plan is to have everything available in both the versions when it's relevant, of course. So these things are coming slowly, but we already have reporting in the new console. We have alert configuration in the new console. You can use access rights and permissions within the new web interface. We have also endpoint troubleshooting and maintenance that you can just use the web interface for. And again, the security assessment reports that many of our partners really appreciate and use very often is part of both the versions of the product already. On the right side, you see some on-prem exclusives that are currently only on-prem exclusives. But again, we know about the feedback, we know about the requests. Please keep them coming. We will be prioritizing adding these into the web interface based on your requests and desires. So again, this is the scope of the product, and I'm sure you want to see the product. So we will be going into a live demonstration shortly. But before that, I would like to summarize the early access program that was running from January and is actually running until the next week when we close it up. And during early access, we wanted to make the product available before it was fully ready to the degree we wanted to have it in. And during this time, we actually onboarded around 100 on-prem customers and almost 100 cloud customers who were using and providing feedback on the product. And just 2 days ago, when I was checking the statistics, we had 10,000 protected endpoints running the new version of Safetica. So it's definitely not something that we are just testing. It's getting traction and broad use. And during the 3 months where we were actually getting a lot of feedback from you, which we thank you for, we did over 600 fixes and product changes that improved the product and brought it to the state that we have it in today. So thanks to all of you who participated in the early access program. Thank you for providing the feedback. And again, if you are wondering what happens to the environments and the customers that you onboarded during early access, those environments will still remain working. We are actually implementing the environment expiration as I speak. So this is coming soon to the product, but your environments will keep working at least until the end of April. So feel free to play with them still a little longer. And again, on April 11, we go live. So the early access program ends. It will be no longer possible to create these early access environments, and you will be able to create trials, which will expire in a standard way, but you can use them to actually experience the product, show it to users, and play with the product and explore what new things have been added recently. So with this, let's go into the product itself so that I can show you all the things that we've added and how the product looks like today. And I'll just switch to my second screen. And before I show you the product, I wanted to highlight some things that we did to Safetica Hub. So in case you still do not have access to Safetica Hub, if you visit our website hub.safetica.com, you will see a little click here button that allows you to register and request access for Safetica Hub. I definitely encourage you to do so if you don't have access yet. And once you have access to Safetica Hub, let's log in. I'll log in with my own account. I'm logged in into Safetica Hub, and if I switch to the customers tab, I will be able to manage all my cloud customers here. So you can see I have a mixture of some Next customers and also Safetica Pro environments, which have been created during the early access. And again, you might see the Safetica Next button on the top right corner, but it will be disappearing next week. So this is the very last few days that you can still register Next. And what you will be able to do afterwards is still use the existing form to register a Safetica environment. And that one will be started as a trial with the license assigned as Pro, so that we give customers a taste of the full version of the product so that they can experience all the features, and then they can decide whether they want the full or the slightly limited essentials version. So this is Safetica Hub. Again, if you do not have access, I encourage you to register for it, and we will come back to the processes in a few moments. With this, I will switch to an environment. I created this one yesterday, so it's a fresh trial environment running on cloud. You can see that the environment is started with selection of demo data that represent the product. And again, if we browse through the data view, not many changes have occurred in the past few months. However, we added a new widget highlighting M365 sharing operations. So again, if I click this widget, my data are filtered, and we can see two operations that happened on cloud. These were actually operations not logged on a protected device, but logged on an unprotected device because of the M365 integration. And you can see that users John and Ada, they created links to share these two files. And one was done through Microsoft Teams, the other through SharePoint Online. And I can easily see what happened. And if I click on the detail, I can see a combination of cloud and endpoint operations here. So it's a very easy way how to explore what really happened. And we actually take the extra information we are getting from cloud to complete the full track and audit track of the operation and the lifetime of files. So this is a small, tiny addition coming to the data view. Again, if we go to applications, not too drastic changes here either. Now applications and websites are fully available for both on-premises and cloud environments. We also have a way to categorize things. So I can see World of Tanks as uncategorized, and I can easily categorize it as a game so that it's blocked or protected accordingly. And again, we have a way to recategorize things. So in case I disagree with some of the categories assigned, for example, Firefox is not my preferred web browser, I can recategorize it as an alternative web browser, and again, apply a potential policy for alternative web browsers also onto Firefox. Moving on, we have websites where I can do very similar things. I can browse website activity and reassign web categories. You can see those here. And one new addition that we have here, it's still lacking demo data, so it shows up empty, is actually the view for external devices, where you will see all the external devices connected to protected endpoints and all the blocked connections that we did because they were supposed to happen. So this is a new addition. You won't see this on the production environment just yet. It will be released next week. I just wanted to show you this version because it's coming to the product and we are just finalizing the very few polishing pieces of work, and it should be ready for wide release next Thursday. Then we have the behavior section. Thank you for the feedback that many of you were lacking the behavior section in the cloud version, which we didn't have at the beginning of the year. Now this section is available for all customers, regardless whether they are running the on-premises or the cloud version. So you can see very detailed app usage. You can see very detailed website visits and explore them in detail, do investigation here. And also now you can also see email traffic related to outgoing emails, where you will also see email communication captured by our Microsoft 365 integration. So if you activate the M365 integration, here you will not only see emails that were tracked by protected machines, for example, PC Snyder, but also from unprotected devices, mobile phones or home computers, where people were sending emails through the web browser or through an unprotected device. And then moving to the protection parts of the product, probably not too drastic changes here either. So we have data policies where you can configure granularly how you want to set up your protection in your company. We have application policies where you can block certain applications or application categories from being used in the company. We have website policies to do the same for webs. And here a new addition, external devices, which allow you to easily block certain devices from being used or certain ports, We have two built-in policies, one for blocking everything which is not categorized as safe. You can see this would apply to Bluetooth, USB devices, Windows portable devices, and Bluetooth file transfers. And just with an easy toggle, I can switch this on. And again, we have another policy for setting certain things as read only. I can turn this on. Again, for the technical detail, this can also be configured using zones, or as we call them, data destinations today. So again, the same level of configuration that was previously available in our previous products is now fully available here with the new interface unified with all the other policies as we are configuring them. So these are the policies. And going further to data classification, probably just to recap what's possible here. If I add a classification, I can add rules and create combinations of classifications. As I mentioned on the first product slide, you can combine rules that relate to file content, which include from keywords, regular expressions, or our predefined algorithms. You can combine them with context classification, file type classification, and also third-party classification. And this gives you a possibility to do very granular classification. For example, I can say I'm looking for documents that contain the word invoice or maybe bill. This would be very broad. So I can specify that these are not the only conditions. I'm also looking for files which are exported from maybe our Salesforce that we are using in a company. So I can say that everything coming from Salesforce that includes the keywords invoice and bill. Oh, sorry, this got a little deleted. So one more time, website, Salesforce, I misclicked, apologies, salesforce.com, so save. And I can also say that this should only apply to not only all files, but only to a selected file type. Maybe I only care about spreadsheets, so I can add a file type classification here and look for spreadsheets, either specifically Excel file or spreadsheets as a category of file types. And also I could go even deeper, classify files in even granular way, or I can create alternatives. So this would be actually a rule called Salesforce exports. But alternatives can be added easily to the data classification. And here I have just a single rule. I could create several rules with an or relationship and have all the rules apply sensitive data classification label. Again, if I save this, it will be applied to all file operations that happen from this moment forward. And the rest you might probably know. Right now, what you can see on the screen are three built-in classifications that you might be familiar with. We didn't think they were good enough, so we created new ones that will replace these. So with this, I will switch to a second environment where we have a preview of the templates that we created. So we actually included many new templates that we will be adding to the product, but not only for classification. For classification, it definitely helps so that we are able to spot important information sooner than the customer configures what is actually sensitive. But we also created a long list of templates for policies that you can use. These are available for data policies, application policies, website policies, external device policies, and even for auditing configuration. And also, the policies are configured to use these new destination groups that we prepared, and we will be filling with new information so that, again, we simplify the initial setup. And if a company is using Microsoft 365, all the Microsoft 365 services will be categorized under a default group. If they are using Google Workspace, it will be categorized as such here. And again, the customer only needs to drag this group and put it as safe, so that really they allow Microsoft services and block or potentially otherwise protect all the others, or they can choose, of course, a different group to do that elsewhere. So again, this is a separate environment. We are still finalizing all this work, so we will be merging everything over the coming days, and we are preparing this all to be available for the next Thursday's release, when we actually provide the product in its full power, including external devices and including all these templates that we prepared here. One more thing that we are adding and should be part of the next week's release is this risk column. If you've been familiar with Safetica Next, this might seem very, very familiar. So we will be assigning risk to various file operations so that you can easily spot things that are more important than others. And naturally, it will be possible to filter these out. So if I only care about high risk events, I can filter them out. I can save this URL and visit it later for seeing new high-risk operations and so on and so on. This is definitely not the end game, it's just the beginning. So our first step towards risk is visualizing it for data operations, but I can assure you that we have more ambitious plans with this, and those will be becoming part of the product in the coming weeks and months. So for now, you can look forward to at least the initial risk available in data logs. If I go back to my original environment, one more thing I would like to highlight that has changed recently is that we have a new alert management available for Cloud Safetica. This is something that will differ between the cloud and on-premises version for some time. We definitely want to unify this, but we want to also provide it to you as soon as we can. So for cloud version, we now have a very simple configuration for alerts that you can receive to your own inbox. The way it works is that there are some built-in conditions that you can turn on or off. And again, the logged in user will receive email alerts about new events. For example, with this configuration, I would be alerted in my email inbox about all the file operations that actually users overrode and were supposed to be blocked, but the user entered the reason and overrode the blocking policy. And again, every user can configure these in their own way. What we are definitely planning is expanding the list of conditions, so it won't be just file operation policy mode. It will be more conditions. This is just the beginning. And eventually, we would like to have a more robust policy system here that allows you to configure alerts, not only for yourself, but configure alerts for all the users, similar to what we have available in reports, that there are some sets that you allow, and you can configure which users to include, where to send the alerts to, and so on and so on. So this is all coming. We have the very first version available now. And again, as I mentioned, you won't see this in the on-premises version now, but it will be coming definitely down the line when we figure out how to make this work on the on-premises, because it needs some refactoring, and that hasn't been finalized yet. So this is the new things available in the product. Maybe for the final feature to just highlight is our M365 integration. You can see that this is now available for both on-premises and also this cloud environment. So even cloud users can now integrate Microsoft 365 services. You can see I have it set up. I have synchronized users here. I have Exchange connected and SharePoint connected, but I'm still waiting for some records because those environments are just passive environments. And we are expanding the possibilities here. So there will be more options and configurations added as we go, and you can look forward to new features coming down the line. So this is about the live demonstration of the product. Coming back to the presentation, some things that I would like to highlight from partner operations, because the product is one way, but you might be wondering about many operations related questions. So what to offer is the basic question. So starting next week, when a new customer comes, we would like them to start using the unified product called Safetica. That's the best practice, because we want to grow this product. We want to have it actively used, and all the new innovations and features are coming to this product. What might happen though is that the customer has specific requirements that can be covered by our Safetica One product, the on-premises product that you might be knowing from previous years. So definitely the customer might get this too. They need to purchase one of the new licenses and they can use those licenses either in the new product or in the Safetica One product. And the plan, of course, is that Safetica One customers, new ones and existing ones, we will be gradually updating to the new product as we make more feature set available and the compatibility grows. One more thing that is disappearing is Safetica Next. So starting next week, there is no new Safetica Next customer, and all the existing Next customers will be automatically migrated to the new product. We are still working on the migration. We don't have an estimate when exactly it will happen. We will definitely communicate the migration in advance. And again, if you have Next customers today that might be worried about what is coming and what the migration will entail, please let us know. We are happy to talk to them. We want to know their feedback. We want to speak to them so that we make the product as smooth for them as possible so that the migration occurs without any issues. Regarding trial licenses, we unified the processes to make everything simple. So to create a new trial license, either on premises, either cloud, or any other license that you want to create, go to Partner Portal, where you can create the trial license either for on-prem or for the cloud version. If you want the cloud version only, the second option still remains available, and that is Safetica Hub, where you can register Safetica and it will be registered for you. It will be also added to Partner Portal. We have the two systems communicating with each other. But again, the unified way is available in Partner Portal. Cloud trials can be generated easily from Hub too. For paid licenses, you need to use the Partner Portal where you place an order, and the order can be placed for both cloud and on-premise users. So again, very simple to follow. Partner Portal is your go-to place and you will find the answer there. In case you are lacking NFR licenses, this is a very unique process that happens only occasionally. So for this one, we don't have an automated thing in Partner Portal. In case you need an NFR license, you can use existing back office email addresses to request this, and you will be provided with the license afterwards. And finally, to make this a little simpler for everybody, we are trying to unify the Partner Portal and Safetica Hub as much as possible. Actually, a lot of work has been put into the architecture and the backend, and the first fruit of this is becoming available next week, when you will be using a single authentication to access Partner Portal and Safetica Hub. And this way you just log in to the one system and you will be able to switch between the two systems very seamlessly by using a single authentication that's used for both systems. This is the first stepping stone into making the two systems even more integrated. So bear with us, we are preparing more, but the first fruit is that you are able to log in with a single credential and switch between the two systems easily. And I'm sure you didn't have all the answers that you were hoping for in the previous demonstrations and slides. So about the roadmap. We are kind of reworking our vision because the landscape is changing and the customers' environments and needs are changing too. So definitely our intention is to go with the trends, and we want to utilize modern technologies to solve modern problems. We are right now in the first phase where we are still focusing on incident investigation, and we are making the product fully ready for a very detailed incident investigation, where we provide you with event records, you can do data discovery, and you can have shadow copy for analysis of incidents. Very old school approach, a robust approach nonetheless, but again, it doesn't answer all the questions that customers are having these days. So we also want to simplify this as a second step and focus the attention where it needs to be. So we want to include, again, risk assessment into the product as we had previously in Safetica Next. and basically draw attention to those things that require attention, so that we really strengthen the DLP and the insider risk management, and focus on the things that the administrator needs to take care of, and filter out all the unimportant events and all the unimportant logs that don't require immediate attention. And again, the next step would be also automating the evaluation, because still, if you see a high risk event, you need to evaluate what it really was and why it occurred. So we want to integrate new modern technologies like machine learning and artificial intelligence to help you evaluate what really happened, whether it really was a high risk or not, why it was flagged as such, and give you a passive security where you can take a glimpse over a company and assess what really happened using modern technologies. And again, this is not the full end game. The full end game is taking the load of the administrators to not need really to configure policies, to refactor those policies with every environment change. And we want to make the product as automated as possible. Again, we don't want to take away all the configuration that you can do, but we want to dynamically assess risk using AI, so that we really configure the protection in an appropriate way, protect where we definitely know something needs protecting. And again, if you personalize this and configure this, it will be combined to assess risk in a very smart way. And we hope that this will actually address not only the problem of configuration, but also the problem of time. Because again, time is very precious, and we hear from customers they don't want to spend time configuring DLP and going through reports of a DLP. They want to just protect things that need protection and want to know about things that they want to know about. And really, to achieve this, blissful state, we need to really take modern technologies where the administrator is not necessarily part of evaluation and the configuration, but he's assisted by machine learning and artificial intelligence. So this is something that we are exploring right now. We are putting the first pieces of the puzzle together in the product, and you can look forward to more and more things coming as we go further with the year and the next years. But specifically, you might be wondering about specific things in the roadmap, and I wanted to mention those things too. So for Q2, we want to make our current solution modern and full-featured. And it's not yet full-featured. We know that some things are still lacking. So what we are adding is data discovery. We are adding risk detection. You could also see it on the screen a few moments ago. And we want to make record exporting possible, so that you can take certain records and reports offline and investigate them outside of our product. And what we want to focus on after that in Q3 is actually delivering shadow copy, because we know that many of you have been asking for it. We also know that our reports are not very customizable right now. And to be ready for enterprise needs, not necessarily enterprise sizes, but we see that as the companies grow, their needs are more complicated and they want to have more customizability, configuration, flexibility. So we want to definitely also customize the reports in such a way that the big customers can adjust them as they want. And two more things that we definitely are working on, you just don't see them yet, is support for new Outlook and basically expanding support for Microsoft 365 in general, and macOS feature parity, because we know that Mac users or Mac only companies have it a little difficult to use our DLP fully. So we have mapped it out, we have a plan, and we will be addressing the missing functionality on Macs as we go forward. Not necessarily in Q3 only, but we hope that in Q3 we reach a good state which is sustainable for an upcoming time. And this is it for the roadmap for the product. And I hope we still have around 10 minutes for questions. So let's get to the questions.
All right. We have a lot of questions, but of course, keep them coming. I think the first one I would focus on the licensing, and maybe there are, of course, this is a transition and maybe a tricky phase for most of our partners. So we have a question here, Jan, that says, as we understand, there are two options of licensing, which are on-prem and cloud. does the cloud licensing support Safetica 10? And does it support also on-prem version of Safetica 11 or vice versa? Excuse me.
Okay, complicated question. I will try to summarize how it works, and maybe you will get the answer somewhere in there. So we have unified licensing. If you remember the slides that Anna showed, we have Safetica Essentials, Safetica Pro, and Safetica Premium. And these are the three versions of the product that you purchase. There is, or the pricing might slightly differ based on the region, but it's very unified. And the three licenses exist in a version for on-prem and a version for cloud. So if you provide a customer with a license, they either get a cloud license or an on-premises license. They can switch between them, but it's always one or the other. And again, if you get a new license for cloud, it can only be used on cloud. So again, if I get a Safetica Pro cloud license, I can only use it for cloud environments, and therefore Safetica 10 will not accept it because it doesn't run on cloud. In case you want to use Safetica 1, the on-premises version, the historical product that we had, you need an on-premises license, either Safetica Essentials on-premise, Safetica Pro on-premise, or Safetica Premium on-premise. And I hope this answers the question. In case you have a follow-up question, feel free to add it to the list of questions, and maybe we'll come back to it.
All right, so I would stick with licensing questions because we have another one. Can you please explain if our customer licenses are expiring next month and they want to renew the licenses, but use the old version of Safetica because they are happy with the recent features, what can we propose to these customers?
The answer is what you would expect. You need to discuss with them a purchase of a new license because the old license ceases to exist. So you cannot purchase a Safetica Discovery license, for instance, but you can talk to the customer about purchasing Safetica Essentials or Safetica Pro. And after they purchase, they can use it in their existing product. So again, if they are using Safetica 1, they can use the new license in Safetica 1. That's not a problem. If you have a Safetica Next customer, they also need to purchase a new cloud license. So Safetica Next customers right now need to purchase either Safetica Essentials, Pro, or Premium. And after we migrate them to the new version of the product, that is the version of the product that they will experience. So hopefully there is nothing illogical in the process. I understand the question, but I hope the answer is logical and it reflects the system that we proposed.
Yes, and we did get a reply saying thank you. So I think that answered the question. And the third question on licensing, because I think this is really critical. Suppose someone wants to upgrade his Safetica product. Will the customer be able to upgrade current license key or a new license key should be issued?
So preferably, the customer used their customer ID to register the product. And in such case, this is a non-issue because they upgrade the product and our licensing server will simply upgrade their configuration and they will be, their license key will change automatically. We prefer that customers use IDs rather than license keys because of this, because we are able to do these dynamic changes automatically. But again, if the customer used license key and registered the product with a license key, they will be issued a new one and they will need to switch the existing license key with a new license key.
All right. Thanks, Jan. Okay, so moving on to questions around the product. How many days do we get the user activity log?
Okay, user activity log is basically limited by your database size in case you are running on premises. So if you are hosting on premises, database is the limitation. For cloud, if you remember or the slides, or if you check out the marketing collaterals, we will be introducing data retention. In Essentials, it will be available for 6 months. In Pro, it should be 18 months, and in Premium, it will be 36 months. I hope I didn't mess up the numbers, and it reflects the state of the final setup.
That's perfect, because that also answers another question in terms of data retention. So moving on to another question around features. What about layouts in the audit feature, like in Safetica 10, to be made to make reports?
Yes, this is actually part of the reporting customization. So you might be seeing layouts coming soon to the product. And by using those layouts, we will be also able to customize the reporting. That is the way we are thinking about this anyway. Maybe one more thing I would highlight, if you really like some layouts that you created, maybe you filtered a few things, you grouped something, you can bookmark the URL that you are on, because we are reflecting those things in the URL. And if you visit the URL again, the layout will be retained. So this is kind of a workaround for layouts right now, but we know that this is not enough. So definitely savable and shareable layouts are coming. And as was presented in the slides, we want to have customizable reports in Q3. So you can expect these somewhere between next month and end of Q3. I don't know about the timeline yet. We are designing it right now, but once we get to the implementation, you might be seeing layouts very soon in the product.
All right. Sorry, there's just a lot of questions I'm going through. When will be dictionaries available in data classification?
So dictionaries are not yet available, but again, there is a very easy way to configure dictionaries. I don't want to demo it right now, but if you choose a keyword configuration and you prepare your dictionary in a separate text editor, you can copy paste a very long list of keywords. I tried 20,000 and it worked very effortlessly. So if you create a text document with your keyword list separated by new lines, and you paste it to the keyword configuration in Safetica, this will be accepted, and it's a very easy way how to deal with dictionary use cases right now. Since this workaround has worked for many of our customers that we showed it to, we are not planning to introduce dictionaries the same way as they were in Safetica 1. But again, this is maybe a question of time, but for now you can use this workaround. So prepare a text document separately and just copy paste the content of the document into the keyword configuration in Safetica, and it might solve your use case.
All right, and maybe we have time for a couple more questions. So will Safetica 1, in terms of migration, will Safetica 1 be upgraded automatically in the on-prem version or manually? How much time can clients postpone upgrades?
Great question. So for Safetica 1, in case you want to keep using it, you can just keep using it. Compatible customers that we already made the update available to will see update to Safetica in the desktop console. So in case you are compatible and you can transfer, you will see the update in the product. It's a one button operation. It takes a long time, but it's a one button trigger. And if you choose not to upgrade, you can still just keep version 10. And compatible customers will actually see two different buttons, one to update to Safetica and the other button to just update to the latest version of Safetica 10. So again, if you are happy with version 10.4 that we have right now, you can just keep updating that one. You don't need to migrate. The plan for forced migration doesn't exist yet, so I don't think we have an answer when exactly is the last time you can still using version 10. But this is the process. Also, if someone is very eager to update and they don't see the update in the product, they can download the Safetica installer and manually update their configuration. Obviously, some things might be missing in the new version, some things might not be transferred. That's why they didn't see the update in the product yet. but it's a way how to update even if you don't see the update available in the product directly.
All right, and maybe one quick question before we close this webinar. Any roadmap date for multiple 365 MS365 tenant support in Safetica Cloud Console?
I wish I had it. I don't. I believe we will be able to support this year, like this year definitely. But I don't see into the Microsoft 365 Teams plans directly, so it might be Q3, it might be Q4. If you leave your name, and I think you left your name in the question, we will definitely answer it offline. I will check with the team and give a more accurate answer.
All right, and of course there are more questions, and we'll of course make sure to answer those in our follow-up email. And Jan, can you help me move to the last slide? So again, we'd like to thank you for your participation. Of course, we'll prepare downloadable resources that we will share with you after this webinar. As always, as common practice, you will receive a follow-up email with the slides, Q&A, and of course, the webinar recording. And we have also prepared a lot of resources to support your success and to equip you with the right information to promote and sell Safetica. So from sales collaterals and brand cloud, new e-learning courses. So please make sure to get the latest certification so you can maximize your ability to sell Safetica. And of course, a revamped knowledge base. All of those links will be provided in the follow-up email. And if you need more information, please contact your dedicated channel sales manager. Even the product management team and my lines are open. So feel free to reach out to us for any clarification. Again, thank you for your continued support. We will not be successful without you. You are our partners and you are crucial to our success. Again, thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.